Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in for the second episode of the Legacy List podcast. We're doing something a little bit different today. So, today's going to be a segment where you're going to be getting to know me, Somera, your host. And so, this episode will focus on some fun facts. And then after that, I'm going to have a little bit of a surprise. But let's get into the fun facts now. And we'll start with fun fact number one, which will be about my background. So my background in terms of ethnicity is that I'm Pakistani. I identify as Canadian Pakistani because I've spent the majority of my life in Canada. I've been here since I was 6 years old. However, in terms of my ethnic background, I am from Pakistan. I was born there and I love the cuisine. I also love the clothing. That would be my primary interest in my culture. I love expressing myself through the Pakistani clothing. And another thing about my background, not so much my ethnic background, but just fun fact is that I have a twin brother who I'm very, very close to. And I also have two older brothers. And I'm very, very close to my family. And we have some wonderful nieces and nephews. And it's been wonderful seeing them grow up. And now, of course, we have our own addition. So it's nice to see like the kiddos that I was taking care of. Now they're attending to my daughter, and hopefully they'll like take her out for movie night and stuff. So yeah, that's a little bit about my background. Number two, hidden talent. So I think I have like two hidden talents. One is I'm really good at improvising food, like cooking different things and dishes. I would say that I just kind of go through the fridge sometimes and I see that, oh, I have this. I can combine like mushrooms and make like a cream sauce. I have milk, I have butter. I like to do it that way because sometimes I just don't want to go on my phone and look up a recipe and be so precise. I just want to try something and be creative in the moment, and it's a lot of fun. Usually it turns out really good too. So I highly recommend it. It's very spontaneous, and if you're living with someone that's a little bit doubtful of those spontaneous dishes, just tell them you're following a recipe. Just say that, yeah, I follow a recipe I found online. But it's a lot of fun just kind of improvising. And then I would say that my second hidden talent is I love to do furniture flipping. So even this dresser, like I know you can't see it right now, but behind me, which will be in the episode, this dresser we flipped as well. I got it from Facebook Marketplace. I sanded it down and then used like a spray gun to do our coat. I probably did like 3 coats of paint on this as well, and then got some hardware from Wayfair. It takes me too long to finish my DIYs and my furniture flips. We all have some vices. I probably have way more. So that's the one that I'm choosing to share. I'm currently reading Britney Spears' autobiography called The Woman in Me. So far, I've read like halfway through it, but I feel like the media revealed so much of what was covered in the book that nothing was really surprising. I do definitely think Britney Spears actually wrote the book because it jumps from like one topic to the other. And although each story is coherent, there's just no like segue into one from the other. And then that's a segue into like the next fun fact. So the sixth fun fact is that my favorite music is definitely pop music, and I get teased about this with my family, but I don't really care. It sounds good. It uplifts me. I also really like R&B and hip hop as well. So I would say like early 2000s, late 90s music is my favorite. I still like some pop music from now as well, especially like Dua Lipa. Her music's really good. And the seventh fun fact. So I wanted to talk about like context related to like where I'm living. So I live in the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area, and everyone has their favorite things to do in this wonderful province called Ontario. But my favorite chill spots here are like the Lakeshore area. So anywhere around like Lake Ontario, so Lakeshore area of Oakville, Burlington, Mississauga. I love walking around those areas, and they all have their own different vibe. And you can get a nice snack, like grab an ice cream, and just walk around or do some window shopping if you're in Oakville and check out the boutiques. I used to work for one of those boutiques that was in Oakville. Very fond memories. And okay, now let's go into a different fun fact. Am I a homebody? or do I like to go out? Like, which one am I? Which one do you think I am? I'm doing a podcast, and the podcast is done at home. So that's probably going to give you a clue that I'm pretty much a homebody, but I would say that I'm kind of 50-50. So it's odd. When I go out, I feel reinvigorated, but as soon as I come home, I just feel so good. I'm like, ah, yes, I'm home. Now I get to chill. I'm in my own space. I get to do whatever it is that I was planning on doing throughout the day. And as far as like going out very often, I know I had that phase in my 20s. A lot of people do. But now I think I'm a little bit more 50-50. So a little, which I think also intertwines with being an introvert and an extrovert. Hobbies. So I think that I'm a little bit of like entrepreneurial dabber. Like I just dabble in a bunch of different hobbies that I just immediately turn into a business right away. And I don't know why I do that. I think I just do that because it kind of propels me to learn faster. So for example, I think it was around like 2017, 2016, 2017, roughly around there, where I picked up photography. And as soon as I picked up the camera, I just decided to like do small event photography. So this is an example of like the things I like to photograph, like nature and architecture and not so much people. So that's what I learned about when I did the small event photography. Another hobby that I turned into a business pretty much right away was lip glosses and body butters. So I did that as well during COVID times, and I learned how to make like whipped body butter. It was completely organic. It was a lot of fun to make it, but man, like those raw materials are related to like, for example, like shea butter or jojoba oil, all of it's like really pricey, especially around COVID time. It was very pricey, but I did have fun learning how to make it and how to make it very fluffy. So I sold that, and I also sold lip glosses and liquid lipsticks. I'm wearing the lip gloss right now, actually. Oh, I was also reselling vintage decor. So that was actually very profitable. And I did this after I would leave the boutique that I was working at in Oakville. I would go to like the Salvation Army thrift store right away that was just like a couple of blocks away and pick up a couple of like little accent decor pieces. And that actually sold, like my pieces sold really well through Instagram. And I didn't have to do that much marketing, but I think it had something to do with our COVID lifestyle. I think I did good, but I did learn that I tend to price my items a little too low because one lady bought something from me and then I saw her account and then she resold my items at a higher price. So good on her for doing that. But that was a lesson for me. Now let's get into like one of the last fun facts. So what is my dream job? I would say that I've had like different ideas for what my dream job is over time. But overall, what's been like most consistent lately, I think in the past 5, 6-ish years since I've done the fashion management program here, I realized that I really want to have my own Pakistani fashion line, be able to design it and, of course, distribute it and sell it globally. Because I'm always like kind of daydreaming about different outfits, and I really love our clothing because I think it's really versatile, it's really expressive, and although 90% of the time I'm in Western clothing, such as what I'm wearing right now, when I get the opportunity to wear my Pakistani outfits, I feel fantastic. I think it's like a huge part of a woman's identity within our culture, which I really value. I think it's a really good thing. Now, that's it pretty much in terms of like all the fun facts. And I don't know why I'm getting nervous about the next segment, but it's going to be super exciting. So I did say that there would be a surprise. You guys are going to be witnesses to a lovely conversation that we have around motherhood and career and relationships. So enjoy. All right, everyone. So we do have a surprise, and I'm gonna do a little bit of a Harry Potter spell, and let's see what happens. Wingardium Leviosa. Okay, there's our special guest. This is my husband, Shrave Sayed. He is super excited to be here. Can you tell how excited he is?
Super excited.
This is one of those things where you've gotten your husband to do something that he didn't know he signed up for, but
Had no choice.
it's all good and it's all in fun. So what we're gonna do now is Sharip's gonna ask me a bunch of questions, and it's gonna continue in the get to know me segment. Before I had fun facts about me, and now this is a little bit more conversational. So let's do it.
Okay. All right. So
Hold on. Before we start, we gotta do cheers of our blah 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 cups.
Okay. Cheers.
Because I'm about to say a lot of blah 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 blah. Cheers. Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. First question. Describe your day in 3 sound effects.
One would be obviously like crying. Like, I don't know. I guess I'll make the sound effect of baby crying. The second one is, I guess, the kettle going off, because Trabe is a huge tea drinker. So, especially on weekends, I hear the kettle going off like at least a minimum of 3 times. And then the third sound effect that's occupying my daily life would just be the TV turning on and off, because you're watching TV here and there in between feedings and stuff. So the TV turning on and off. Yeah, those would be my 3 primary sounds. But if I could add a fourth one, I love to hear our daughter's laughter as well, and her chuckles, and just like the oohing and the eyeing and the different baby sounds that she makes. That's also occupying my days right now.
Okay. What's something you swore you would never do as a mom that you now do all the time?
I would say something that I thought that I would never do. Maybe that's like a little bit loaded of like never do. I thought that I would do a little bit less of this, which is being on my phone and using social media. So on my phone a little bit more on Instagram more than I used to be, and a little bit more on Facebook Marketplace. I just love like browsing, even if I'm not buying anything. And because I get tired of like rocking her, sometimes I'll just like rock her, and then I'm holding my phone at the same time. I'm like editing a video or like making a post for Instagram, especially for the legacy list. So I catch myself doing that, and I didn't think that I would be so much more on social media that I am now. For things like whether it's related to parenthood or just killing time watching stuff related to like what's going on in the world or pop culture, seeing all the stories for like all of my friends and family members and coworkers. I like to look at those. So that makes me just feel like I'm connected, and I think that's everyone. Everyone feels connected in that way through our digital storytelling that we do, and we. But I didn't know that I would be on it so much, because prior to becoming a mom, I wasn't on my phone that much.
Yeah, you hated social media. Third question. What's your proudest mom multitasking moment?
I have two. So one of them is like when we were back in our home after we got a lot of help from Shrape's parents. We were at my in-laws. Prior to that, we were at my mom's house as well. When we were back in our own home, I had to do this multitasking of like rocking Ariella to sleep, or at least like comforting her, and she's crying like frantic, like scream crying. Meanwhile, I'm preparing a bottle, and the window between like the 2-hour time frame between feedings, it sounds like it's a lot, but it feels like a blink of an eye.
Yeah, flies through.
So just like holding her and preparing the bottle and saying her like, it's okay, like give me 2 seconds, 2 seconds. Like I'm always like trying to negotiate with her.
Yeah, you're already lying to your kid.
I'm lying to her. And then I'm pouring the milk in and praying like I don't spill it. If it spilled out a little bit, like it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
So that would be the initial like multitasking proud moment. And it still continues. I'm just like getting better at holding her. Also, she's a little bit easier to carry because she's
not bigger. As fragile.
She's not as fragile. So I think that's my proudest multitasking moment.
I think she forgives us a lot more now.
Yeah, babies are very forgiving.
Yeah,
they are, and they're very resilient too.
They are.
That doesn't mean that they can take care of themselves.
Yeah, you can't just drop them.
Of course.
Okay. What's the weirdest advice someone gave you during pregnancy or postpartum?
The weirdest advice. That's a good question.
Before you answer that, but I do think postpartum is more of like a
Postpartum.
Western, postpartum,
Yeah.
it's more of a Western idea.
I know that's your perspective.
Yeah.
I think that we have more awareness about it, and therefore more everyone's speaking up about it more. I think we're in this phase of culture where we're just more open-minded, and because of that, people are willing to talk about XYZ, and rather than keeping it to themselves, it's just a different era all itself.
Mhm.
And then because topics are not as taboo, we're speaking about them more. That doesn't mean that postpartum depression happens to everyone, and it happens in very degrees as well. Like some people can get it really bad, and you have to go for therapy, go on medication, and there's no stigma to any of those. And then some people just get it in kind of in waves, or they call it like baby blues. I'm pretty sure we went through baby blues, so I know I kind of did. Everything felt really foggy in my brain. So
Yeah.
what was the question again?
The question was, what's the weirdest advice
Yeah,
someone gave you during pregnancy
weirdest advice.
or postpartum?
I don't really remember. I just got a lot of like perspective related to like fear. If you do this, then that will happen. And I want to be a little bit. I want to be a present parent, but a little bit laid back. So in that sense, it just you just hear it from one ear and you take it out the other. Also, you try to keep in mind that like everyone's intentions are really good. When someone's giving advice, they're not coming from a bad place
Yeah.
at all, and they're coming from their own experience. So just take it in stride. But no one said anything super weird.
No, the weird. I'm
Did you
like,
get anything weird?
The weird was more of like a fear driven.
Which is what I just said. But did you
Yeah,
get
it
any
was
like weird suggestions or tips? I don't think we did.
No. So what I got
Mhm.
from my friends, it was like, well, wait till this happens, wait till that happens.
Guys just do that. They just like
Right?
grill each other. It's like
No,
if
there
this
were
happens,
some
then
like female colleagues too. When they found out about it, they
Yeah.
were like, well, most of it, I would say 99% of the time, it was more of positive reinforcement. It's like, oh, don't worry, you'll be okay. You'll
Mhm.
figure things out and
Mhm.
everything. But then there was that, I would say 0.5 or 1% where it was like, well,
Mhm.
and another thing was, I think we didn't disclose to a lot of our friends if it was going to be a girl and a boy
or a boy.
or
Yeah.
a boy.
Yeah.
So that was another thing. It was like, oh, you're gonna have a girl, you're gonna lose so much hair. Oh, if you're gonna have a boy, you're gonna be completely bald.
I guess you're saying like old wives' tales.
Like, oh, you're gonna have a girl. If you have a girl,
Watch out for this.
watch out for this, watch out for that.
Warnings.
But then me coming back to that point where it was like, it was so much fear driven based on
people's own experiences.
The own experiences, or I would say like not own experiences, or the experiences of other people and put on you kind of thing. Is like, oh, I knew a guy or I knew that couple.
I get what you're saying.
Their daughter did that, or their son did that.
Are you saying that people are like projecting? So they're
other people fear on you.
Okay, so they're projecting like, okay, so and so went through this. They had a kid that was like difficult to put down to sleep, or who was always crying or always hungry.
Funny enough, it wasn't.
And then they were just
funny enough. It wasn't about the infancy or the toddler stage of it. It was more of like, oh, teenage girl or teenage boys, and I'm like,
oh, okay, yeah. I don't think we need to think that far
13,
ahead.
14 years ahead.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Again, it's projecting. I love it when people say positive things, and they say like each phase has its own beauty.
Yeah.
It has its own trials and tribulations, but its own beauty. But I think at the end of the day, if we just remind ourselves that having a child is such a blessing, and it's getting more and more rare because the birth rate is dropping.
Yeah.
It's dropping like on a global stage pretty much. So I don't know. People share their stories, and I think it's fine.
Well, babies aren't cheap, so
they're coming from their own experiences.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like, it could be that if they're talking about teenagers, they're probably thinking that like, hey, we miss the baby time. It's a different phase. We miss that cuddly baby time where they're always like, they smile at you in this most adorable way, and you don't necessarily always get those smiles when they're teenagers or in their 20s or 30s, etc.
Have you ever fallen asleep standing up or talking mid-sentence yet?
I have not.
I have.
But this happened to Shape just a few days ago. So it's one of those moments where I think I just needed to hand off Ariella to you. I was in the middle of something. I was actually doing an Instagram post and for the legacy list, and I was in the middle of it. So I just quickly wanted to finish it up. And I handed over Ariella to you. You're rocking her. You had come home from work. And I sensed like the rocking motion. You're doing this, so I could see it from the corner of my eye. And I'm done my post. I put my phone down. I look over at you, and Shreve is like this, like you know when like a robot has like no battery, and it's just like like it's just like out of all battery, and it's just done. Your head was dangling down, and you're like this, and Ariella's sleeping in your arms too. So I was like, hey, she's asleep, so it worked. But you were very tired, so his sleep is very fragile, and I think it's amazing how much like the partners step up to help the wives, and you know it takes a team to do this.
Well, it goes both ways, right?
Yeah, so, it goes both ways. But it
um,
was adorable to see that. And after I woke you up gently, and then I'm like, oh gosh, you should really take a nap. Like I felt really bad.
I
but
got my second win from that one.
yeah.
But what about you? Have you not done it yet?
No,
or it hasn't happened to
no,
you
it
yet?
hasn't happened yet. No, but I have had moments where I've been like very drowsy while I've been nursing. So, by the way, this is like basically the baby's nursery. We just repurposed this particular area and for the podcast. But down over here facing me is the nursing chair. So many times, I've caught myself like nursing her, and I'm like putting my head up because I'm like trying to wake up. So I'm literally just like trying to keep myself awake, and my head is a bobblehead. Yeah. So I've been close to completely dozing off.
Okay.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. Yeah. Do you think baby brain is real, or did you just forget where your keys are again?
Yeah, I think baby brain is definitely real. I felt it. I definitely felt it. I don't know if I feel it now so much because we're pretty much sleeping through the night, and like knock on wood that lasts for sure. So I noticed it more so in the first couple of weeks, especially when we started having company to come visit and meet the baby. And I couldn't form a sentence. Sorry, I keep on hitting the mic. I couldn't form a sentence. And halfway through telling a story or sharing something, I would just forget what I was talking about. I'm like, what was I talking about? And inside I was like kind of praying. I was like, I hope Shui picks up where I've left off in the story, and he just takes it off because I have no idea what I'm saying right here. And it
was hard. Yeah. It was hard for me to concentrate too. So at the time, I didn't even know what she was talking about.
I think baby brain is definitely real, and of course, it's probably most likely related to like the lack of sleep and the amount of energy you use. Never mind sleep. I think we focus on that so much. The amount of energy you have to use in nursing, especially if you're exclusively nursing, because you burn so many calories. So to the person on the outside, it just looks like, hey, this
seems easy.
This person is just like kind of sitting around with the baby. You're not really getting a lot of movement. You're sitting around feeding, and then you're rocking the baby. So again, you're sitting again. How physically exhausting could this be? But it is because you're burning so many calories with the nursing.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you define success now?
But now I define success as like, okay, are you a good partner? Are you a good daughter? Do you give time to the people in your life that love you and care about you? Do you give time to just unwind and relax? Do you listen to your body? So success is like kind of like making a well-rounded sense of your life and not just focusing on one aspect. Because I think if you wrap up your identity in one thing only, it gets a little dangerous. So to me, I define a successful woman is one that can learn from her mistakes, who owns up to her mistakes, and who is also has integrity. I think honesty is really important.
So basically, your individual milestones are now your success on a. That's what that is.
What I'm trying to say is that I want to
different now.
For me, success is having good relationships, treating myself with kindness, and also being career oriented as well. Like
Yeah.
you can be all of those things simultaneously, and it's gonna go like this. It'll ebb and flow. Sometimes you'll pay attention to one a little bit more than the other, but I then give myself a break and I go to my daughter and I start playing with her. You know, I got to make that eye contact with her, especially because the new generation is seeing their parents on their phone. And I did see this on social media where they were saying, like, you know, where infants see their parents using the phone like this. Sorry, can I borrow yours? And they're holding it like this. Always, there's no eye contact. The face are very sterile, and they're just looking at you. They want to connect.
Yeah.
So once you put the phone down, make eye contact and try to get the engagement going,
yeah,
because they will feel your presence right
seen
away.
Ariella doing that. Like there are times when she's on a bouncer.
Yeah.
And I'm responding to an email or a text message or something, and like it's been a while. Like, and I'm
She
saying
looks patient.
she's patiently looking at you.
Yeah.
But she's just waiting for your expression.
Yes, she is.
Right?
Absolutely.
And then you put the phone down, and then you call her.
re-engage.
You say like, "Hey, Ariella," and then all of a sudden there's like a huge smile, such a beautiful smile. How do you see yourself now that you're a mom and a career woman?
Oh, okay. I think I can tie in like what I was just talking about with the success question that you were asking me.
Yeah, but I don't kind of like this question in a way,
Okay.
is because career woman and mom, they're separating them. Being a mom, I think, is also a career.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but like, yeah, we'll answer that.
Okay,
thing.
so
yeah.
I think I remember taking this class like back in university as part of like the women's studies program, and they call it. There was, I don't know what the book was called. Maybe it was called The Second Act, or The Second Shift. And so it had stories of women where they feel like when they come home and they're still doing a lot of like household work, parental work, and so that's their second shift. However, they feel like it's just not as rewarded in society because there's no income coming in related to the second shift. So I'm actually trying to make
reward of income is not there.
Yeah. So what I'm actually trying to make a point related to like stay-at-home moms. I think it's kind of like the invisible work that stay-at-home stay-at-home moms do, and I don't say invisible work in a negative way. It's just unfortunate that it's seen that way, that it's not valuable, but they're doing so much of the work so that the rest of the family can function so well. And I'll give you an example. Like my mom would make me like my lunches for work. Sometimes she'd do my laundry and all these tasks that are part of like making your own life run. But because she did all those things for me, it helped sustain my work life and focus on like applying to jobs and going to this career fair and doing this and focusing on school. So it is that invisible work that can sometimes really help other individuals in the family reach their goals.
Yeah.
I think I should like rephrase it, but I think that putting more value towards stay-at-home moms should happen, and we gotta like stop doing that thing of like comparing women of career women and stay-at-home moms. And there's aspects of home work, like home life, that I find so hard that I would easily like want to put it down in order to just go and like do a job. Like I just find being not a homebody, sorry, a stay-at-home mom is way harder in many, many ways.
Oh yeah, it's 100%.
So I think it should be acknowledged. And I know I like diverted away from the question, but the question was really like, how do you see yourself as a new mom
and a
career woman? I think they're not mutually exclusive. Like one feeds into the other. So even though I'm not back at work right now, when I'm going to be at work, I hope that I'm going to be super focused and be like, okay, I want to get XYZ done, knock it off, and just do it as fast and as efficiently as possible, so I can go home and be proud that like I did that work, and that work sustains my life that I love and want to build at home. Like it is,
and
that sacrifice, and it is that time that I'm doing away from my family so that I can grow as an individual. I can gain more confidence. I can connect with people. I can have different experiences. Come home, share those experiences with my family members. So they don't need to be separate. Like, I think it's great when parents share with their kids, yeah, I learned this at work and I did this. Often I find that parents are not sharing what they're going through, or vice versa. Kids are not sharing. We got to share those external experiences we're having outside of the home, bring it inside the home, share it with each other, talk about it. So it opens up your mind and to like what is possible. So yeah, again, I don't feel like my mom role and my career role are separate in any ways.
No.
And I think one feeds into the other.
Yeah.
You know?
What's a moment with the baby that instantly melts you, no matter how tired you are?
Oh, I think we could probably agree on this. It's when Ariella like wakes up for her nap.
Yeah.
And she has this, and if she's well rested, it's like a full nap, and she looks up at you, and she just has this like big smile on her face,
Beautiful smile.
and big eyes, and it's just like this big beanie smile. It's not like anything's happened. She's just seeing like her hero in front of her, but her hero is the parents right now. So, and it's that like that love that you get instantly, and you feel sometimes like a little bit undeserving of it. You're like, oh shoot, like I didn't even know she was awake. Here I was doing a couple of chores here and there around the crib, and okay, now I see that she's awake. Let's play, let's pick her up. So I think that's what lights up my day.
Yeah, it's mine too. It's one of my favorite moments as well on a daily basis, where
helps you
like in the morning when I'm leaving for work, and if she's awake, I love seeing her like, and she just have woken up, and she's like looking around like what's happening, and then as soon as her eyes lock on you, and her eyes is like big smile, big eyes, like even like, and she has a thing, she smiles with her eyes as well.
Yes.
So I love that. I love that look when she gives you, and even when I come back from work, right, like she's doing her thing, like she's on a bouncer or play gym, and then you call her name and you're like, Ariella, and then she just looks at you, and then it's, oh my god, I love
basically that. All the problems just wash away.
Oh yeah, like I don't
you don't even remember like anything.
And
it's a couple of times like Shrafe's like so engrossed in playing with her that I'll be like, Shrafe, and I'm like talking to her, and
I'm not listening to
he's
anything.
not listening. He's so in tune with her, which I think he does it a lot better than I do. So, each parent has their strengths, which I think is great.
I tune out everything else when I'm talking to her, and like it actually annoys me. It's a weird way. Like I'm talking to her, and when you're trying to talk to me, like at that point I'm getting annoyed. It's like, why are you talking to me? Like I'm talking
I would
to
get
her.
annoyed too.
Like I'm talking to
You're
her.
like, give me my
go
moment.
away. What do you miss about your pre-mom life, and what you would never trade now?
I don't really miss anything about my pre-mom life, I'll be honest. That doesn't mean that it wasn't a good life. I feel like I'm still finding ways to integrate certain things that I did in my pre-mom life. So like I went to the mall one day, and Ariella and I had like a fantastic time. So, and I'm pretty sure at one point we're gonna end up like going to the movies when they do that like mommy and baby time at the movies. They have like the sound a little bit lower and the lights in a different way, so it's designed to be for babies. So I'm probably gonna do that too. We're probably gonna go out for lunch at some point or another. So I don't feel like held back in any way. I just feel like I have to be a little bit more patient and plan those outings in a certain way. I know some people can feel super isolated and feel like they're not connecting with individuals, but maybe it's because I'm a little bit more of a natural introvert. So I'm a little bit mixed, like an introvert and then some sprinkle of an extrovert.
I think
like 50-50.
There's a term for that one. I can't remember it.
But I'm like a little bit 50-50. So because of that, like some days I really enjoy staying home all day. Like I really enjoy it. And before, you know me, like I was like always wanting to go out, like here and there.
Yeah,
Now I see time in a very different way. So time is like, I don't want to waste it doing like these random errands and random chores. And those things are still part of life, but I almost want to like reduce the opportunity for random chores and random errands. And I'm being a little bit more like intentional with my free time. So that's changed.
Yeah.
Big time. Like I would never trade my daughter for anything. And like that's the only answer you can give for that question, right?
Yeah.
I like the one-on-one time that I love like the time that I have with Ariella when we go to the library. And I think why I find the library time so particularly important to me is because I was a late reader. Like I started learning how to read later as a kid. So I really want her to be an early reader where she enjoys books and loves books. I came around to liking books a lot later. Maybe I was just like playing around more before then. I'm not sure what the reason was. So I want her to have an interest and curiosity of different things in the world. And a lot of times you get that through books at the beginning. And of course through media too. So me having that time with her in the library and the mommy and me groups is super fun. Even though it's a little bit challenging sometimes to make friends through those groups. It's a hit or miss basically, but I'm there for her. And if I had to like go back to work like super quickly, like how it is in the US, then that would have been tough. So I would not trade that for anything. That I like. It's a very special moment.
What's something you have seen in me, your husband?
Oh no, I don't know who this is sitting next to me.
Becoming parents that surprised you.
Well, I don't know if I was like ever doubting this, but I was never really doubting his capability of being a parent.
Before you say that, I doubted myself.
No, I wasn't ever doubting it. But I was like in awe of like how efficient and precise he became, and everything had to be very perfect, especially at the beginning, because my recovery was really tough, as it is for all females after giving birth. So Shrey really stepped up to help with the baby a lot, and he was really good at swaddling, really good at diaper changes.
But that's thanks to the nurses at the hospital.
Oh yeah, they taught you well.
Yeah.
But you were very precise with it, because I mean you could have been the person that been like, okay, whatever, I like wrapped her up in a swaddle and it's loosey goosey, so good enough. But you wanted it very precise so that she would get a good sleep and feel snug and comforted. So I was really impressed with the precision that Shrey wanted to do things. But again, I think it's your like God-given talent where you have really good hands-on skills. And when you know the why of why you have to do something and it's important to you, you do it really, really well. So I was impressed with that, but nothing like out of the blue, like super surprised me in the sense where I'm like, in the sense that I didn't doubt you again. I was just very in awe and like impressed. I think that's my answer to this question. I didn't doubt you, but I was so impressed with a lot of the ways that you're handling being a parent. And like I wasn't doing that well with the swaddling. Eventually I caught up. My swaddles still weren't that good. And you got like way more days of practice. So you know, you got your 1,000 hours where you practice a lot more. So some days I did such a good job where I would show it to you, be like, look how swaddled her. Like, look, she looks like a burrito. That would be our inside joke where she's looking like a burrito or a long grain rice. Like sometimes I think for the
first month and a half, I kept on calling her
a burrito.
My burrito.
My burrito. Yeah, it was super cute. So I would say overall, like super impressed. And then you have this moment where you like fall in love with your partner even more when you see them like really doting on your daughter together. But when you see that like your partner doing that and you witness it, it's a really special moment. So you appreciate them, and that love like grows in a different type of way.
We're doing good. We're coming to our last question. What do you hope our child hears when they listen to this one day?
Oh, that's such a cute question. I love it. I think she's gonna find us really cute. I think she's also gonna see like a different dynamic, because on camera right now, I'm talking a little bit more. It's also because you're obviously asking me questions.
No, but you talk
So
more anyways.
she's gonna see that I'm this like talkative, chatty Cathy person and a little bit more animated, and then you're coming across on camera like more reserved. So she might be surprised because in real life it's actually the switch where I'm a little bit more quiet with our daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're like bringing out like the joyful like wacky spirit that she has. You bring that out of her, and I think she's going to appreciate how we felt as new parents, how I felt as a new parent, how I visioned like my pre-mom life. I think she's just going to enjoy our answers. And maybe she might also like look at the setup and be like, oh my God, this was so to 2025. Like you guys were like so old school. Like she's going to do those things where she's going to make fun of us and like grill us. And I'm all for it.
No, yeah, no, I think that was it for today.
Yeah.
So
Did you enjoy being a journalist?
and
Let's get the testimonials.
I'm
now.
getting used to this.
You're getting used.
So let's see.
That's Strape's like politically correct answer. Well, I enjoyed it. It felt natural.
No, it was good. I enjoyed it too.
I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being on here. This is my partner in crime. This is the person that I've chosen to spend my life with.
Bad choice.
And no. And you know, always keep in mind that out of all the billion people that you have in the world, the person that you chose to spend time with and you spent your life with, respect them and appreciate what
the
they
respect
do
has
for
to
you.
be both ways.
Yeah, respect them and appreciate what they do for you because you chose that one person out of like a trillion billion people, and that is very important. I know this is
and be patient with each other.
That's a work in progress, man.
Whoa, that's what I'm saying. The patience can run out really quick. You just gotta be patient.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes it's good not to like say the thing that comes to your brain. Like just like
I'm still working on
zip
that.
And I'm actually speaking about myself because I learned that like a little while ago. I'm like, Somera, just don't say it. Do not say it. And then I don't. And I was like, that was a better moment because I didn't say anything. So, you know, not everything is worth it to like turn into something. But this was super fun, and our daughter is awake.
Yeah, we gotta go.
You can hear her in the crib, and I'm super excited to see those big glowing eyes and the red cheeks and the big smile.
She's calling us right now.
So, okay, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We will have more of the motherhood and career focus episodes coming up, and sprinkled with some mom life information as well. So I just want to keep it dynamic for you guys. But this was a wonderful get to know me episode. All the best to everyone, and we'll see you next time.
All the best to you guys, dude.
Like and subscribe. Bye.
Peace.